Alright, hello YouTube. Um, this is my first YouTube video in I don't know how many years, so this is gonna be pretty rough. Alright, so let's just get straight into the business. This is approximately an hour and a half after the end of BPL17, so this is the Mercenaries one. You can see I have my one useless merc. I didn't do any merc stuff for this race. Most of you will probably know what BPL is. If you don't, I'll throw a link down. Basically, it's a community kind of race event of some type where it's very focused on cooperation between like a lot of different people. So this time we had around 800, 900-ish people total. So there were 3 teams this time around, so around just under 300 people per team. It was pretty full. Discord was always very busy, plenty of people to talk to. It was my first PPL. 10 out of 10. I recommend. I learned a lot about heisting and other stuff. I'm mainly heisting because I was a heister. So let's go through kind of the build. I will show you my POB. I'll show you my actual POB and then like the planned theoretical POB. Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Actually, I should go dump all this stuff back into the guild stash because I don't need any of it. Because I'm going to be migrating over. Okay. So basically I'm level 92 and I've only completed 73 maps and these I boss rushed. So they don't even like count as proper maps essentially. It was all heisting. I have, oh, okay, let me go to a town so I'm not completely giving you the wrong numbers. I think my base movement speed with no buffs, just movement speed is 100, 110, 112. And so the way we scale this is, of course, Queen of the Forest. Got one pretty early, threw a couple fusings at it, got a 6-link by accident, which was really funny. I started off with a 5-link and then I thought it'd be funny to get a 6-link. And it happened. So this is the biggest source. Oh. Okay. It is the biggest source of movement speed. Just doesn't really show like it because also I have flasks and these flasks give me a bunch of evasion too, so like there's that. I have Devota's Devotion that just gives like flat 20% increase, which is nice. Good amount of evasion. Armor, I don't use armor that much, but you know, it's there. Chaos Res, that's nice. Nice to have. Oh, and Mercury Footprints, which I'm not using, but you know. Then we have, what's the other? Here. Ascent from Flesh. This is just another movement speed item that I have, so this is giving me another 10% increased movement speed while I'm phasing, and I don't have perma-phasing, but I have like relatively okay uptime for phasing, because I have it set up on automation. And so if I go to my hideout, you'll see I can just walk around, and that's me phasing, and doing onslaught and all the other stuff, and my flasks, and that's about 250-ish percent movement speed, plus whatever I get from frenzy charges and a couple of other extra buffs like mid-map or whatever. It's pretty ridiculous. So this is generally what my tree looks like. For ascendancies are, I was kind of stupid in how I did them and I changed over. So initially the plan was Nature's Reprisal, Nature's Adrenaline, Nature's Boon, and then Master Surgeon, but it's like friggin' heist, so you don't really need that. So what I ended up doing was Nature's Reprisal, Nature's Adrenaline, Master Toxicist, which was a massive quality of life thing. It just gave good chunks of damage and a lot of prolif, which is beautiful. And then Nature's Boon again, because magic flasks. So actually this Master Toxicist, the reason the prolif is so good is not only for clearing, but also there's this mastery over here. Enemies poisoned by you cannot deal critical strikes. So I can just run critical strike contracts. I scoured all the blueprints, but contracts I don't scour because we didn't have enough. And Critical Strike was the biggest killer. So grabbing Master Toxicist, you're pretty much good. Pretty much, because you can just throw like one PConc of bouncing every couple of things. Every couple of packs or whatever, and you'll be fine. Oh, yeah. The build is PConc of bouncing, so it's not like normal PConc, where normal PConc would just... I can actually give you a demonstration. So I'll swap my of bouncing. So normal Poisonous Concoction throws them all at once, and I have Volley, so throws them in a straight line, right? Most of us are pretty familiar with this. What I wasn't familiar of was this transfigured version of bouncing. So essentially it converts the additional projectiles to chains. And you can scale chains directly as well. And so what this does is it allows a lot more overlap and a lot more clear speed. Which is quite nice. So I have some chaining stuff over here, chaining range, and then I think there's like increased damage for each chain. Yep. An additional projectile, just some attack speed, that good stuff. So that's kind of the like basic premise, and then we're just we scale more projectiles with greater volley, and GMP. Okay, I do have GMP in here. Void manipulation, more damage. Unbound elements, more damage. Vicious projectiles, more damage. None of these are quality because they only recently got up to 20, so yeah, that's why. I'll just go through the whole gem setup. Val Haste, gotta go fast. I'm not actually running Haste, normal Haste anymore. I used to. But then I was running a lot of Talina and Gianna, so I just ran Haste Rogue gear on them, so that was fine. So I had more space for reservations. Grace, I do run this. I should take this one out. I should just run this, like this. So, you know, evasion, that's decent. Blood Rage is just Frenzy Church generation, essentially, for phase run. Frostblink, I don't use Frostblink, I don't need it. I can't use it because phase run or Withering Step ends up using the charges anyway, it doesn't matter. Plague Bearer, super nice for clearing. You charge it up, and you can charge it up quite quickly, especially with Poison Prolif. And then essentially, you'll just run along the hallways like this, and you'll kill everything, or kill whatever you really need to. And I'll probably give a contract demo at the end of this. Here we have, yeah, that's Plague Bearer. Malevolence, just more damage. I swapped out Haste for this because this was just nice quality of life, and I don't have a Bismuth Flask, and I don't need Purity of Elements because my resistances are all nicely capped out. Precision, so I think I'm still running it. Yes, Precise Technique. It's a lot nicer for, let me move my face out of the way. It's a lot nicer for just flat damage because it kills enemies on hit more often, and it just gives a little bit more poison damage. So that's what's up with that. And the accuracy, because you do need accuracy, you need to hit. And so my chance to hit is better. It used to be at around 80%, now it's at 100 for normal, and then 93 for evade. So I have Flesh and Stone. This is always staying in stance just so I have less damage taken. Mark on hit with Poacher's Mark. I put this on hoping for more frenzies. I haven't noticed anything. I haven't changed it either because I don't really care. Withering Step is not super necessary anymore, but Elusive's kind of nice. I don't need the Wither because the Wither gets taken care of by the gem, but you know, whatever. Phase Run gives us speed and phasing, which is just a massive quality of life. More duration, make both of these last longer. Automation, automate them because I don't want to press anything else. So we'll go through the whole gear, I guess. So Devota's Devotion, Queen of the Forest, Ascent from Flesh, all chalk up as just movement speed, essentially. As for this shield just has increased duration of ailments on enemies, so just like more, like longer poison, which is decent. Amulet, life attributes res and a little bit of minus mana cost. Same thing for the rings, just distribute life, mana, res, minus mana cost, and res. Gloves, similar thing. It's got life, it's got res, it's got a lot of evasion because evasion stacking is very nice for heists. Not only because it's a defensive layer, which is it's an okay defensive layer, but also because Queen of the Forest. I have movement speed or attack speed on here just because I had an open suffix or whatever. Yeah. Boots, life, res, move speed, evasion, dexterity's on there. I don't know why. I don't want to remove it. I don't want to annul it. It's fine. Tree we already went through, but we didn't go through it that much. So I'll show you in the POB, but this is just a general snapshot. And as for jewels, I have 2 jewels. I have this cluster jewel, which I got on late day 2. It's just more damage, so there's increased chaos damage. That ignore interruptions from stuns isn't super important. Increased chaos damage, skill effect duration, pretty nice. I try to stack that. Chaos damage, attack speed, that's also pretty nice. I got this for free. Pure Talent. This was actually pretty funny. It was sitting in the guild dump tab, so anyone could just grab stuff from there. And it was sitting there for an hour, so I was like, hey, I'm a heister. I can just take this. It's free. It's free real estate, so you know, it's okay. Yeah, pretty basic passive tree. Flasks, 2 Divine Life Flasks, because you will run out of charges on one, especially during bosses, so these are mandatory. Try to get increased life recovered on them. Try, because that just scales your damage even more. As for these flasks, so I have a Jade, a Quicksilver, and a Silver. Jade and Quicksilver, I would say, are mandatory. Silver, I was running originally a Bismuth, and I swapped over to a Quartz, and then I landed on Silver. The suffixes on them are pretty important. So what I would consider mandatory is increased movement speed and increased evasion, and the last one's a flex thing, so I just have avoid stunned. Just so I'm stunned a lot less. And because we have like a lot of increased flask effect, we can roll with that, because we have this, and then we got a couple of points, like, no, not those. Damn. We used to have a couple of points. Whatever. We got flask effect. This is just some random trinket. This is the first trinket I found. This I don't think is doing very much besides 1% for 6 links. 1% chance. Not super important. Yeah, so that's the general setup. We can go run a contract. Or a blue. I'll just do a contract. I'm kind of done. Let's see here. And so we'll just, yeah, this is pretty dead now because no one's running these. Okay, I hope that they left some stuff in here. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's do, I don't know. Gianna, Deception. Okay, we got Deception contracts. So see, I'll just, like, grab whatever. Like, I'll usually just grab the highest level one. It doesn't even matter. This one's priceless. Let's grab that one. Oh no. They froze all the tabs. That's unfortunate. I don't think I have any contracts. No. Okay. Hopefully I cut this. Instead, what I will do is go run some Delve. Because we're out of contracts, which sucks. That really sucks, okay. And I'm pretty sure everyone's just gone now. This sucks. Rip. Ripperoni. Let me just do a double. Yeah, no, everything is just sitting there. Okay, we'll go run some Delve instead. Depth 168. It's kind of deep for a pretty crappy heister, but you'll get an idea of kind of how the gameplay looks. If we load in. Okay, here we are. So basically all I do is you can see I have my Blood Rage, so I Blood Rage, and I just run. And so I'll pop off a couple of PConcs in the beginning just to trigger my, whatever this is, Plague Bearer, and then just run. And it's essentially just like this, and then I'll trigger my Val Haste and Val Grace every so often, and then I'll just keep running, keep plopping these down. And so this is Delve, it's not Heist, but like it's kind of just showing you how the gameplay looks, right? Like, it's pretty smooth. It's basically a one-button build where you just PConking. Occasionally your Plague Bearer goes up. You don't even have to do Plague Bearer if you don't want to. I just do it. I like it. It feels like kind of mini RF essentially, if you're into that. So that's kind of what the gameplay looks like. As for any bossing type situations, I have 0 maps. 0. I could do it in a 0 if I was really that desperate. I don't want to. But yeah, it's pretty solid, honestly. Looks like people dumped their gear in here. I really enjoyed it, and so we can go over to my POB and kind of just walk through sort of different things. So I'll walk through my original planned POB. And so let's move over to here. Okay, so this is the originally planned POB. that I made up. This is the final tree. So you can see that my final tree, in actual BBL on the actual character, was fairly similar. You know, there's a couple of different masteries. Like I didn't take Thieves Craft, but I did take Prowess. I ended up cutting out all the Onslaught stuff and just grabbing a flask. I grabbed Beef. You know, just like minor changes. I'll throw all my POVs in the description. And then you can see here where I was going for Master Surgeon rather than Master Toxicist. Big mistake in my opinion. I would absolutely 100% of the time go for Master Toxicist over that, especially for heisting. Yeah, the tree is not that interesting. Like, there's no jewels or anything because I wasn't expecting anything. For skills, skill links, this is all the same. Purity of Elements, I changed up. I did not run Shield Charge in the latter half of day 1, I think. Or maybe it's early day 2 that I dropped it. I dropped it at some point. Utility stuff, Frostplank, I still have it, but don't use it. Plague Bearer, yeah. Despair, didn't really want it. This setup's the exact same. As for items, so I have the I Am Speed setup, which is literally just res, life, evasion, gear, and movement speed and attributes, plus Devotos and Queen of the Forest, plus some flasks. You can see here I have the Quartz Flask. I ended up dropping that because I was worried about, I had it here just because I was worried about spell suppression. I wasn't sure how much I would be able to get, so yeah. Calcs, if you want to see this, you can hit up the POB link in the description. I have some notes, just a regex, ascendancy, this stuff. These are the two POBs that I sort of based it off of, roughly, plus POB Ninja, and then just went off my own intuition. You can see that I did have, I had a couple trees, and so I had some leveling trees. So basically we rush for the flask nodes, then we come down to Primal Spirit, then we come down, rush to Poison, come down, grab Precise Technique, grab an Onslaught, and then grab the Life Flask. Go over here, grab Charisma, then finish off the Life Wheel, grab some more Poison, then grab Accuracy. Here we grab this for Mana Sustain, which is sorely needed at this point. Then we come up, grab some Evasion, then rush the Leech, and then grab some more Poison. Here we're filling out Spell Suppression, grabbing a bit more Evasion, grabbing a bit more life, grabbing a Mastery, grabbing a bit more life, you know, kind of regular stuff. Then Uber Lab is the final thing. For skills, I have 1 to 12, so this is pre-Poisonous Concoction. So I level with Caustic Arrow. You can also do Galvanic Arrow, but I kind of hated it. I like Caustic Arrow a lot more. So Pierce and Volley. I don't know which one is prioritized, but it's a 3-link, so it doesn't really matter. Dash, grab Frostplank ideally. Precision, I just took it just so I don't forget. Withering Step, same deal. Shrapnel Ballista helps a little bit with Brutus. Quite frankly, a Decoy Totem would probably do a better job. Sniper's Mark, yeah, it's not necessary. Blink Arrow, also not necessary. I skipped both. Poisonous Concoction setup, so Volley, mandatory. Chance to Poison, mandatory until you get 100% chance to Poison. Then Void Manipulation. Momentum I just put here, but I ended up using Void Manipulation. Heralds of Agony, so this kind of helps out with your poison chance, and it just gives you a little crawly dude. And more damage. Despair helps with single target. Haste, I wasn't running it yet, I was just leveling it up. Shield Charge, very nice for just moving through the acts, excellent in this 3-link setup. Frostblank, you know, the deal, it's just Frostblank. Withering Step, same deal. Blood Rage, still just leveling that, you know. Here, I was roughly estimating a 5-link that I would have by 38 plus, which I didn't, but, you know, it doesn't really matter. Here, I just have auras, so I was playing around with dropping Herald of Agony, grabbing Purity of Elements, a little bit of just options that you have there. Most of the other stuff is the same. I have Molten Shell, but I ended up never using a Molten Shell setup. And then we're back to the original. And so that's basically the build. It's a very, very cookie cutter heister. It's essentially just a hybrid between a traditional ZDPS tanky heister and a traditional PConc, a bouncing character. And so I was doing mapping, or I was able to complete maps. I had enough damage to kill bosses, you know. You saw I had 70. things, and those are all just random maps. Like, most of them were rare. I just grabbed out of the guild stash, random. I didn't look at the mods. I was running corrupted, unidentified. I was running 8 mods. You know, I was just doing whatever. So it's actually quite a decent build. Deaths, I think, added up to like 50 or something. Kills were 114,000, so it's not like horrible. So that's my build. I am planning on doing theory crafting a bit more, doing more of this, which is, I started enjoying theory crafting, unfortunately, a little bit. So next up is the gauntlet. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to say. BPL was amazing. My leveling group was amazing. Sloth, I loved you. Blight, you were amazing. Amazing team lead. Sugar, amazing team lead. Cyclone, amazing team lead. Golden Boy, Giga Chad, like all of you. I'm just going through the friggin' Discord seeing who else. Like Lucky, my whole friggin' leveling team. You guys were awesome. Yeah, I don't really have that much to say other than try BPL if you have the time, if you have the will. Like, you learn a lot from more experienced people, honestly. More experienced than you, more experienced than me. It's a good time. It's a good time. Yeah, it was awesome. I got kind of stale of PoE. So I'm probably going to be moving over to SSF. I really want to stream more often, but ideally I get a job, so we'll see how that goes. Without further ado, though, that's the end of the video. You know, do all the things like comment, subscribe. If you want to, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that much. I'm just here putting stuff out on the internet, hoping that someone sees it and is useful to someone. Because, I don't know, I just find like resources, just like random build diaries, as being really useful to me. But with that, that's the end of the video. See you, everyone.